ask, I mean, obviously there's a lot of pressure on you to write the books, but is it still fun for you? Do you still enjoy the writing process?
No, I never have. I enjoy having written. I mean, it's like I don't know how to describe this without getting graphically sexual here.
Please do.
I mean, finishing a book is such a feeling of release and triumph, especially if you're happy with the book that you've done. But actually, writing the book is hard work, and I get very emotionally involved in my books. I have days where it's really going well, and I'm really excited, and hey, this is great. Oh, look at this line. This is great, you know. And I have other days, you know, where I sweat blood and nothing comes, or worse, where I look at the stuff that I wrote last week and said, why did I think this crap was good? This is terrible. I got to redo all of this. You know, this is what was I thinking? So, you know, there's really, it's hard work writing. I know some writers say, oh, they love nothing better to write, but for me, it's you know, like building a cathedral or something. It's hard, not physically backbreaking, but mentally backbreaking work. But it's worth it because at the end you have a cathedral. You have some beautiful work of art, hopefully, or you have something that will last for a long time and that you can be proud of and you can look at and say, I did that, and isn't it cool? And then you have to do it again. So
You've canceled a couple appearances this year, and you've said it's because you want to really focus on the work. Is that a self-dictated time frame, or someone else telling you, you know, you really have until the end of this year to get stuff done?
well, you know, I really wanted to finish Winds of Winter before the end of the last year, but obviously I failed. And part of that is the numbers of interruptions that I have. So I'm taking steps to try to cut down on it. I mean, one thing is, you guys, I'm not going to be doing so many phone interviews or TV crews showing up at my house and things like that. I've said yes to a lot of them. I have one of my minions here with me, Lenore here, and Lenore is the vice president in charge of saying no for me. And you know, when people want me to make an appearance or do any interview or christen a ship or accept an award, I refer to her and she says no, and that way I can try to get more work done.
Do you feel like there's like a pressure, you know, in getting it done? Because all of a sudden I read, oh, well, can he do it then? Can he do it then?
Yeah, there's an enormous amount of pressure, but it's a double threat pressure. I mean, on one sense, there's a pressure to get the books done. I mean, my fans want to read the next book, and my publishers want it, my editors want it. HBO would like to have it. I'm sure David and Dan would like to have it. I would like to have it. So there's that pressure. But then there's the other pressure to make it good. I don't want to just kind of rush through it and finish it, and it comes out and it's flawed or it's bad. I have to make it as good as I can possibly make it. So, you know, the two pressures sometimes pull me in opposite directions.
Do you have any characters that ever come up and say, hey, you know, we really like being in this show. Now that you're still writing, can you keep us going a little longer?
Well, you know, Dave and Dan who are doing the show are bloodier than I am. They've killed a number of people who are still alive in the books. So just me keeping them alive in the books doesn't necessarily keep them alive in the show, unfortunately. But I have had that. You know, when I read the books, they're just characters on paper. But then once the show got going, they became actors who I know and in some cases are friendly with. I mean, when I first met Sybil Kikeli, who played Shay, she's one of the sweetest girls in the world and a tremendously wonderful actress. She really brought a great dimension to Shay that was not present in my character in the books, frankly. The TV Shay was better than the book Shay. And Sybil kept saying to me, oh, I love playing Shay. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. And what can I do? I killed her like 5 years before I met her. So I knew she was doomed, even if she didn't know. But
you know, David talked a little bit a couple of days ago about how the show will pass the books and spoil the books in some ways. Can you sort of elaborate on that? Is it going to be like the entire journey is spoiled, or maybe just some of the bigger moments and the path there is different?
You know, I've never really liked the word spoiled. I think that's I mean, did the book spoil the show?
For some people.
That's crazy. I mean, come on, if you saw Gone with the Wind, were you spoiled by the fact that the book came out before the movie came out. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, to me, the purpose of reading books and watching television is the journey. It's not necessarily the surprise. I mean, here I'm going to risk a spoiler here, but if you've seen Citizen Kane, you know that Rosebud was the sled. And now that you know that Rosebud was the sled, does that mean Citizen Kane is worthless? That you should never watch Citizen Kane again? You know what Rosebud is. It's the mystery. But no, the journey is more than that. Citizen Kane is a brilliant piece of work. And even if you know before you turn it in that Rosebud was the goddamn sled, it's still a great work of art. So the revelations, plot twists, surprises are not the sole purpose of writing a novel or doing a television show. And I think the books and the TV show will both hopefully have their own impact, regardless of what's spoiled and not spoiled. Again, I don't like that word "spoiled," but you know, the other issue here, though, too, that also is a fact is that the books and the show are diverging. So
Yes, that's what my question about spoilers would be. Just how different will the stories end up being ultimately?
well, you know, major events I think will be the same, but there'll be a lot of minor events that are different. And there's already been a lot of major events that are different. I mean, I've talked about that since season one. You know, the butterfly effect, I call it. If you know Ray Bradbury, The Sound of Thunder, step on a butterfly in the Jurassic, you change all of human history because the effects magnify with time, and that's part of any adaptation the size of this one. You know, small changes that were made in season one become major changes by season 5 or 6, and you know we're starting to see that snowballing effect. So.